This Blackpill debate is probably the second or third worst debate performance from Wheat Waffles. Neither Austen nor Wheat debated perfectly, but I just want to focus on these three mistakes that Wheat Waffles made that should be avoided in this sort of debate. Wheat Waffles did not pick up on a key point of disagreement that's indicated by one of the things Austen said. For context, Austen Summers cited evolutionary psychology in his opening argument.
If you ask the literal most cited psychologist other than Freud in human history, which is David Buss, he says women have 6 adaptive problems that they are solving for when they're looking for a mate. The first one is a mate who is able to invest, and each of these has evolved mate preferences. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go into the evolved mate preferences.
I can unmute myself.
Dating, which includes a man's ambition, his industriousness, financial prospects, social status, social skills, size, muscularity and height, bravery, and athletic ability.
Wheat responds with evidence that shows young women aren't looking for partners to raise families with, not until they get to older ages, and many modern women don't have children at all.
Oftentimes you do get like these studies that come out and they look based on like evolution, what women would have went after. However, what I mainly want to say is that in the modern day, things have changed. And the first point that I had is, first of all, what's relevant today? Not what's relevant 10,000 years ago in caveman days, what's relevant nowadays? And I think nowadays, when women have their own money, they have mum and dad's house to live in. They don't need to marry a guy for the sake of marrying a guy so they can live in his house.
Wheat Waffles believes that women historically went for men with resources out of necessity, not from primal desire. Thus, when the social and economic pressures to pair up with men based on resources disappears, women have no reason to go for such traits in men. Austen responds by saying,
basically genes change about 1% over 10,000 years. So for all intents and purposes, the same things that people would be attracted to back then are the same things that we're attracted to now.
What might this indicate about Austen's views? It shows that Austen thinks traits like investment, dominance, masculinity, resourcefulness, parenting skills, he believes that these are actually attractive to women. Humans have evolved to biologically desire these traits in a mate. As soon as Austen brought up how slowly genes evolve, Wheat should have honed in on this point of contention and brought up the question that they both shall answer: to what extent are human beings sexually attracted to parent-worthy character, resources, and charisma or game? Austen's answer would be quantitatively greater than Wheat's answer. Another question could be women going for men with money who aren't physically attractive. Why? How much of the reason they do it is practical, such as economic, and how much of it is emotional, genuine attraction, so to speak? Wheat would probably say it's mostly a practical and incentivized behavior, whereas Austen would probably say the answer is somewhere in the middle. Wheat's debate performance was greatly hindered by his suboptimal argument delivery.
So the whole thing that I read here is about selecting a mate, not just, a short-term
hookup. When you say selecting a mate, you're talking about long-term prospects, marriage relationship.
Yeah, long-term pair bonding.
Okay.
So Austen clarifies that his evidence pertains to long-term mate selection, and Wheat responds by saying that type of mating has gotten less relevant. Since people in the West today get married at older ages, a much longer period of time in a typical adult's dating life is spent dating without raising a family being at the forefront of their mind. What they look for in a partner during that period follows from their dating goals.
Well, this is the problem. In the West, because of these factors, because women can live in mum and dad's home until 30 and there's no urgency, chances are, you're not going to get married yourself as a guy until you're in your 30s anyway. My favorite term that me and my friend use all of the time nowadays is mentality max. We use that every single day. And mentality max basically means how much desire a woman has for either short-term or long-term. So and we break it down into 2 types. So there's micro MM, so micro mentality max, and there's macro MM, macro mentality max.
I mean, yeah, you can. The thing is with the strength of evidence, you're saying micro MM, macro MM, exposure max. These are all interesting hypotheses. The thing is, you have to put them to the test, and that's the test of good science. I would defer to the strength of evidence of the most esteemed evolutionary psychologist of all time.
The way he presented the argument was quite unclear, and his use of Blackpill slang made Austen see it as a theory that Wheat Waffles just came up with. Another mistake that Wheat made is relying heavily on his personal experience. Sure, he has a lot of experience, but the people that he's debating have even more experience.
Because I know from my own experience, this is what I've lived.
When you're debating someone who has experience that played a role in shaping their beliefs, you have to have more experience than them in order for your anecdotal arguments to be persuasive.
Because in my experience, I've approached a lot of girls. I've had more exposure than pretty much any guy that I know. And I've had more exposure probably than the average guy would get in 5 lifetimes.
Wheat has 5 lifetimes of exposure to women, but Alex might have 100 lifetimes of exposure. So what Wheat's saying pretty much has 0 persuasive power. Last but not least, Wheat Waffles does this thing where he debates a position that some people in the community of his opponent believe, but his opponent does not believe.
Gesturing is what you would probably describe as game. It's trying to be funny, trying to show your value, trying to...
dude, what?
Make her attracted to her.
What is your definition of game?
So my definition of game is just tactics in order to impress and make a woman happy and have a conversation with her and make her smile, make her laugh, and it is ways of making her feel positive emotions. But in my opinion and in my experience, that if you do those things, from my understanding of game, it will lead to jester, and that jester only leads to more jester.
Yeah, so I understand the problem. Your definition of game is way off, and sure, if we follow your definition, then you can make a pretty strong argument for that. That's not the definition of game.
Yes, there are people who think that that's what game is, but this specific dating coach, Alex, does not. Wheat is doing the same thing that his opponents did to him.
Anyway, now moving on to the third misconception. Blackpillers believe looks is everything. This argument is made by people who...
The black pill basically tells you you're human filth and deserve to be exterminated. There is no hope. You should just give up unless you're 6'2", 10 out of 10, and it makes you super self-critical. If this is like, I'm not insinuating you are going down this route, but like if this is your argument and you're trying to attach this sort of belief to me, I think it's like grossly inaccurate, and you're going down a bit of a straw man kind of path here, because I've never said anything like that ridiculous in any of my videos.
A lot of your guys' comments saying, oh, rope fuel, just give up. It's like, it's over, it's done for you.
But can I just ask you, like, are you trying to debate me right now? Or are you trying to debate, people from the Blackpill community, people from the comment sections of my videos, or what? Because, like, as I say, I'll repeat again, like, I've never said anything as ridiculous as that Reddit post has stated in any of my videos.
Some people in the Blackpill community may think that's what the BP is, but Wheat does not.
No, but prior to going on this chat, we went on Chat GPT and we said, in the dating arena, what is the definition of game? And it said, utilizing strategies and manipulation to get a desired outcome.
Yeah, because we all know ChatGPT is very reliable when it comes to
ChatGPT is pretty reliable, actually.
ChatGPT was programmed by a bunch of SJWs.
How would Wheat like it if someone debated him on the Blackpill using ChatGPT's definition of the Blackpill? Anyway, that's it for this video, and I don't mean to come across as overly critical of Wheat Waffles. I didn't make this video to hate on him. I said all of this because I want to improve the quality of the discourse in the Blackpill community. Because honestly, guys, this Blackpill debate is probably the second or third worst debate performance from Wheat Waffles.